Gently close your eyes, breathe softly, and let your mind drift. What if the profound stillness of an empty room, the vast cosmic silence between galaxies, holds a secret far greater than any star? What if the very concept of nothingness is not an absence, but a boundless living canvas from which everything, every particle, every light, every thought miraculously arises? What if the universe's ultimate mystery is not found in what exists, but in the astonishing potential of what seems to be empty? Hello there, and welcome to Sleepster, your cozy corner of curiosity where the profound mysteries of existence come with a side of serenity. Whether you're winding down after a long day, perhaps tucked under blankets with your phone propped against a pillow, its soft glow a familiar comfort, or simply letting your mind float gently toward sleep, easing its way into the quiet currents of the night, I'm so glad you're here. Tonight, we're setting our sights on the ultimate cosmic enigma, exploring the astonishing, silent alchemy of what seems to be nothing, asking, can the universe's emptiness truly birth everything? From the philosophical void to the quantum foam. This is the story of existence's most fundamental secret, a marvel that redefines your very perception of reality. Now I must confess, I do hope this video isn't too fascinating. After all, the goal is to help you drift off peacefully. But if you do find yourself wide-eyed at the wonder of creation from the void, captivated by the intricate processes that forge your very perception of reality, well, at least you'll be wide-eyed and a little wiser. Before we delve into the hidden architecture of the void, I'd love to know, where in the world are you listening from tonight? What time is it where you are? Feel free to leave a comment and say hello. It's always such a joy to see this sleepy little community stretch across time zones and continents. A quiet constellation of curious minds connected by this shared space of contemplation. If you find comfort in videos like this, equal parts knowledge and calm, a gentle tap on the like button or a quiet subscribe helps more than you know. It's a small action that supports hours of research, writing, and a whole lot of softly whispered wonder, allowing this peaceful channel to reach more minds seeking serenity. And just before we begin, a quick reminder. While this video is full of intriguing science and captivating philosophical questions about the cosmos and reality, it's not medical advice. If you're struggling with sleep regularly or with persistent thoughts that cause distress, it's always best to speak to a qualified professional. This video is here to relax, to ignite wonder, and to gently guide your mind, not to replace professional care. All right, let's settle in, take a breath, and begin our gentle journey into the heart of nothingness's deepest enigma. We're not seeking to definitively solve the entire mystery of what lies in the void tonight, but rather to serenely explore its many facets, from philosophical concepts of true emptiness to the teeming quantum vacuum and the grand cosmic voids that shape galaxies. Imagine a space utterly devoid of matter, energy, or even light. Is such a nothingness truly empty? Or does it conceal a boundless potential, a hidden engine of creation waiting for the right conditions to spark existence into being? As we explore, allow your mind to drift through the currents of possibility, embracing the calm curiosity that comes with contemplating the profound scale and deeply personal unknown of our own inner universe and the boundless cosmos that contains it. In our everyday waking lives, the concept of nothingness often feels straightforward, almost intuitive. We imagine an empty room, a silent space, a vacuum devoid of air. It is the absence of something, the negative definition that gives meaning to somethingness. Yet, beneath this comforting veil of apparent simplicity, the very notion of nothing reveals itself to be one of the most profound, most elusive, and ultimately most perplexing mysteries in all of science and philosophy. What if nothingness, in its truest form, is far more complex, far more dynamic, and infinitely more alive than our senses or our simple definitions can possibly convey? What if it is not merely an absence, but a boundless, pregnant canvas, brimming with hidden potential, a vibrant, unseen realm from which everything, every particle, every star, every galaxy, every thought, every consciousness miraculously arises? This section invites us to gently peel back the layers of our intuitive understanding, moving beyond what our senses tell us, to contemplate the astonishing reality that lies beneath the surface of what we perceive as empty, questioning the very bedrock of what we believe to be non-existent, and revealing how the universe's most fundamental secret might reside not in what we see, but in the astonishing potential of what seems to be nothing at all. Let us begin our gentle descent into the heart of this enigma by first attempting to define what nothingness truly means. In common parlance, nothing implies a complete absence. If you remove all objects from a box, you have nothing in the box. If you drain all the air from a container, you have a vacuum. But is this truly absolute nothingness? From a classical physics perspective, a perfect vacuum is simply a space utterly devoid of matter and classical radiation like light waves. However, even in such a classical vacuum, the laws of physics, the dimensions of space and time, and fundamental physical constants still exist. So, even in a classical vacuum, there is still something, a stage, a set of rules, a potential for things to exist. This already complicates our intuitive definition. If we remove the box itself, if we imagine a space beyond all matter, all energy, all fields, all dimensions, does such a philosophical nothingness truly exist? Or is it merely a conceptual tool, an idea that our minds struggle to fully grasp? This initial grappling reveals that the concept of nothing is far more nuanced and deeply philosophical than it first appears, challenging our very ability to conceive of true absence. The concept of nothingness is also intimately tied to the origin of the universe itself. Many cosmological models, including the Big Bang Theory, describe the universe as having expanded from an incredibly hot, dense state. But what was before the Big Bang? Was it truly nothing? Or was it a different state of existence, a different kind of reality, a pre-cosmic void pregnant with the potential for creation? Some theories, like those involving a multiverse, suggest that our universe is just one bubble in an endlessly expanding cosmic foam, implying that the nothingness outside our universe is not truly empty, but rather other universes, or the inflating space-time that gives rise to them. This cosmological perspective shifts nothingness from a passive void to an active, dynamic medium, a mother womb of creation, continuously birthing new realities. The question of how something can arise from absolute nothingness has long been a central philosophical and theological puzzle, compelling us to consider whether nothing is merely a placeholder for something we don't understand yet, or if it possesses an inherent, mysterious creative power. The illusion of simplicity begins to dissolve even further when we introduce the perplexing insights of quantum mechanics, the theory governing reality at the smallest scales. At the quantum level, the concept of a truly empty vacuum is utterly alien. What classical physics defines as a vacuum, quantum mechanics reveals to be a bustling, teeming sea of ceaseless activity, a frothing ocean of potential and possibility. This is the quantum vacuum state of lowest possible energy, yet far from being truly empty. Instead, it is continuously, spontaneously, and fleetingly giving birth to virtual particles that pop into existence from nowhere, exist for an infinitesimally brief moment, and then vanish back into the void. These particle and type-particle pairs emerge from the vacuum itself, borrowing energy from the universe only to pay it back almost immediately, existing just long enough to exert subtle influences on observable phenomena. This continuous bubbling of virtual particles is a direct consequence of the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, which implies that even in a vacuum, there's an inherent uncertainty in energy and time. meaning that energy cannot be perfectly zero even for an instant. So, the vacuum is not dead. It is vibrantly alive with a constant flux of creation and annihilation, a dance of pure energy and potential. This alive nature of the quantum vacuum fundamentally redefines our understanding of nothingness. It's not a static, inert void, but a dynamic, seething zero-point field, a cosmic ocean of virtual particles and fluctuating energy. This zero-point energy is theorized to be the lowest possible energy state of a quantum system, even at absolute zero temperature. The very existence of these virtual particles, continuously bubbling into and out of existence, demonstrates that nothingness is teeming with implicit information and immense potential energy. This is a profound shift from the classical view. Instead of absolute emptiness, we have a continuous background hum of existence, a cosmic plenum rather than a vacuum. This vibrant emptiness then becomes a plausible candidate for the source of creation. If particles can spontaneously appear from the quantum vacuum, then perhaps the entire universe, in its earliest moments, arose from a colossal fluctuation within this very zero-point field, a giant quantum leap from nothing to something. This transformative view makes the seemingly impossible creation from nothing a fundamental property of reality, suggesting that the universe is perpetually birthing itself from its own inherent, vibrant emptiness. The very structure of space-time itself, as described by Einstein's theories of relativity, further complicates the notion of absolute nothingness. Space-time is not an empty stage, but a dynamic, elastic fabric that can be stretched, compressed, and warped by the presence of matter and energy. Even in the absence of matter, space-time itself exists as a fundamental background. Moreover, the laws of physics themselves, the fundamental constants, and the underlying mathematical principles are something that exists even in a conceptual void. So, true nothingness would imply the absence of even these laws, a state that our minds struggle to grasp. If reality is fundamentally information, as some theories suggest, then even an empty void might contain the latent informational code for existence, a blueprint waiting to be actualized. This challenges us to consider if nothing can ever truly be devoid of potential, or if it is inherently pregnant with possibility. Its very essence defined by what it could become. This radical redefinition of nothingness has profound implications for our understanding of reality, our origins, and the true nature of existence. If nothing is not truly empty, but a vibrant, pregnant void, then the universe's creation becomes less of a miraculous event from an external source and more of an inherent spontaneous property of reality itself. It suggests that existence is not an exception but a fundamental tendency, continuously emerging from a background of potential. This offers a deeply calming perspective. We are not floating in a cold, indifferent vacuum, but in a dynamic living emptiness, a ceaseless dance of creation and annihilation that is the very fabric of the cosmos. This continuous bubbling of potential, this ceaseless emergence of something from apparent nothing, hints at a universe that is perpetually birthing itself, a testament to its inherent aliveness and its boundless capacity for self-creation. The mystery of nothingness then transforms from a philosophical void into a vibrant, fertile ground, inviting us to find peace in the boundless potential that resides in what seems to be empty, fostering a deeper connection to the creative pulse of the universe. Having gently begun our profound inquiry into the true nature of nothingness, challenging our everyday assumptions and glimpsing the vibrant, teeming quantum vacuum that underlies apparent emptiness, we now turn our contemplative gaze to a much older, yet equally profound exploration. We travel back through time to hear the ancient whispers of philosophers and thinkers from diverse cultures who, for millennia, grappled with the very same enigmatic concept, the meaning of the Void, the nature of the empty, and its perplexing relationship to existence itself. Long before the advent of quantum mechanics or sophisticated cosmology, these great minds, guided by pure reason, intuition, and contemplation, wrestled with what it means for something to exist or not exist, laying foundational ideas that unexpectedly resonate with modern scientific discoveries. This section invites us to calmly explore these timeless philosophical debates, recognizing that the human quest to understand nothingness is as old as thought itself. Fostering a deeper appreciation for the enduring paradoxes that shape our understanding of reality, and finding a serene wisdom in contemplating the mysteries of the empty, let us begin our philosophical journey in ancient Greece, where the very concept of nothing ignited fierce intellectual debates that profoundly shaped Western thought. One of the most influential figures to deny the very possibility of nothingness was Parmenides, a philosopher from the 5th century BCE. Parmenides famously argued that what is not nothing cannot exist, nor can it be thought. His reasoning was deceptively simple, yet profoundly challenging. To think of something as to think of being. If you think of nothing, you are still thinking of something, the concept of nothing. Therefore, nothingness cannot truly exist. For Parmenides, all that truly exists is one eternal, unchanging, indivisible being. Any talk of change, motion, multiplicity, or creation would imply a transition from being to non-being, or movement through a space of non-being nothingness, which he deemed logically impossible. His arguments, supported by his student Zeno of Ilia and his famous paradoxes like Achilles and the tortoise, or the flying arrow, aimed to show that motion and multiplicity were illusions, precisely because they would require interaction with or passage through a void that cannot exist. For Parmenides, reality was a plenum, utterly full, with no room for emptiness, in stark contrast to Parmenides' unwavering denial of nothingness. Another school of ancient Greek thought, the atomists, most notably Leucippus and his more famous student Democritus, who lived around the same time as Parmenides, audaciously proposed that reality was fundamentally composed of two equally essential, coexistent principles: atoms, atomos, meaning uncuttable, which represented the full, or something, and the void, which represented the empty or nothingness. This was a revolutionary concept, placing nothingness on an equal ontological footing with somethingness. For the atomists, the void was not merely a conceptual absence. It was a physical, measurable space, an absolute emptiness that was absolutely necessary. Why? Because without the void, there could be no motion. If all was a plenum, as Parmenides argued, how could anything move? How could atoms collide, combine, and separate to form the diverse world we perceive? The void provided the space for atoms to move freely, to rearrange themselves, and thus to create change and diversity. The universe, for the atomists, was a cosmic dance of tiny, indivisible bits of matter swirling in a vast, empty space. A surprisingly modern intuition that placed nothingness at the very heart of physical reality. Later, the influential philosopher Aristotle, though accepting atoms as a concept, firmly rejected the idea of the void. He famously argued that nature abhors a vacuum horror vacui, believing that every space must be filled with something. For Aristotle, the universe was a continuous plenum, and motion was explained by the contiguous displacement of matter, not by movement through emptiness. This Aristotelian view profoundly shaped Western thought for nearly 2 millennia, pushing the atomists' radical idea of a void into the shadows until the scientific revolution. As we turn our gaze eastward, we find equally profound and nuanced contemplations of the empty that differ significantly from the Western binary of being and non-being. In Buddhist philosophy, particularly the concept of sunyata, often translated as emptiness, we encounter a sophisticated understanding of nothingness that is far removed from nihilism or a mere void. Sunyata does not mean that things do not exist. Rather, it asserts that all phenomena are empty of inherent, independent existence. Everything in the universe, from a fleeting thought to a distant galaxy, is dependently originated. It arises in reliance upon other things and lacks a permanent, unchanging self-nature. For instance, a flower is empty of independent existence because it depends on soil, water, sunlight, seeds, and countless other factors for its being. This emptiness, therefore, is not a void where nothing exists, but a dynamic, relational emptiness that is the very condition for the arising of all forms. It is a vast potentiality, a groundless ground from which everything manifests. In meditation, realizing sunyata can lead to profound liberation from suffering by dissolving the illusion of a fixed, separate self and recognizing the interconnectedness of all things. Thus, in the Buddhist view, emptiness is not synonymous with nothingness in the Western sense, but rather a vibrant, relational emptiness that is the source and nature of all forms, a concept that resonates with the quantum vacuum's teeming. Potential, similarly, Taoist philosophy, with its emphasis on the Tao the Way, offers a contemplative understanding of the empty that is deeply profound. The Tao is often described as a formless, nameless, and ultimately ineffable principle from which all things emerge. It is the uncarved block, the boundless void, the primordial chaos that gives rise to order. The Tao Te Ching, the foundational text of Taoism, frequently uses the metaphor of emptiness to illustrate its profound utility. 30 spokes share the hub of a wheel. It is the central void that makes it useful. Clay is molded into a utensil. It is the hollow that makes it. Useful walls are built for a room. It is the empty space that makes it useful. In these examples, the empty is not a lack, but a vital space of potential, functionality, and freedom. The empty space within a cup is what allows it to hold water. The empty space within a room is what allows it to be inhabited. Thus, in Taoism, embracing emptiness, acknowledging the void, and cultivating inner stillness are pathways to profound wisdom, its creative power, and harmony with the natural flow of the universe. The void is not terrifying, but a source of boundless creativity and effortless action, a deep, silent wellspring from which all forms continuously arise. The concept of nothingness also takes on profound theological significance, particularly in Abrahamic religions and the doctrine of creation ex nihilo. This Latin phrase means from nothing and describes the belief that God created the universe not from pre-existing matter or a primordial chaos, but from absolute nothingness. This theological position emphasizes the ultimate power and sovereignty of the Creator, who is capable of bringing something into existence without any prior raw material. Unlike earlier cosmological myths that often described creation from a pre-existing cosmic egg or primordial waters, creation ex nihilo posits a radical act of pure genesis from a state of non-being. This perspective underscores the idea that nothingness in its most absolute form is the ultimate canvas for divine will, the boundless potential upon which all existence is inscribed, distinguishing it sharply from both a void filled with atoms and a dynamic quantum vacuum. As it suggests, an external force is required to initiate creation from ultimate absence throughout these diverse philosophical and theological traditions. Spanning millennia, the concept of nothingness has proven to be an endlessly fertile ground for inquiry, revealing the inherent human fascination with fundamental origins and ultimate reality. From Parmenides' rigorous denial to the atomist's audacious embrace, from Buddhist emptiness as dependent origination to Taoist emptiness as a source of utility, and from theological creation ex nihilo to Leibniz's profound question, why is there something rather than nothing? Each perspective offers a unique lens through which to view this cosmic paradox. What unites these ancient whispers is the shared recognition that nothing is far from simple. It is either impossible, a fundamental void necessary for existence, a boundless field of potential, or the ultimate canvas for creation. The profound depth and diversity of these ancient contemplations unexpectedly resonate with the bizarre insights of modern physics, particularly the quantum vacuum, which seems to embody aspects of both philosophical void and teeming potential, blurring the lines between ancient wisdom and cutting-edge science. This enduring human quest to understand the empty invites a serene contemplation, revealing that the universe's deepest secrets might indeed be hidden in the very heart of what we perceive as nothing at all, fostering a calm appreciation for its endless mysteries. Having gently delved into the profound philosophical whispers surrounding the concept of nothingness, exploring how ancient thinkers grappled with the void and its perplexing relationship to existence, we now turn our contemplative gaze to a more contemporary, yet equally mind-bending scientific revelation. We explore how modern physics, specifically the bewildering insights of quantum mechanics, fundamentally redefines what we perceive as empty space, transforming it from a passive void into a bustling, teeming sea of potential. This isn't just an abstract theory. It's a profound truth that challenges our very intuition, suggesting that nothing is, in fact, incredibly active, vibrantly alive, and perpetually bubbling with an immense hidden energy, a ceaseless dance of creation and annihilation. Imagine, if you will, the deepest, most silent cosmic vacuum, not as absolute emptiness, but as a frothing, shimmering ocean of fleeting existence, ceaselessly giving birth to and reclaiming the very fabric of reality. This section invites us to calmly embrace this scientific paradox, to explore the astonishing properties of the quantum vacuum, and to contemplate what this vibrant emptiness tells us about the universe's boundless creative power, fostering a deeper, more serene appreciation for the hidden dynamism of existence itself. To truly grasp this profound shift, it is essential to first understand the stark contrast between the classical and quantum understanding of a vacuum. In classical physics, a vacuum is conceived as a space utterly devoid of matter, particles, and classical radiation like light waves. If you were to remove every atom, every photon, and every speck of dust from a container, classical physics would declare that space to be perfectly empty, a true nothingness. It would be cold, silent, and inert. However, the perplexing principles of quantum mechanics, the theory that describes the behavior of matter and energy at the atomic and subatomic scales, paint a dramatically different and far more active picture. At the quantum level, the concept of a truly empty, inert vacuum is utterly alien. Instead, the quantum vacuum is understood as the lowest possible energy state of quantum fields. Yet it is far from being truly empty or silent. It is, in fact, a bustling, seething, and infinitely complex realm of ceaseless activity, a frothing ocean of pure potential, perpetually giving birth to and reclaiming the very fabric of existence. It is vibrantly alive with what are known as quantum fluctuations, making the empty space around us a silent yet powerful source of hidden dynamism. This continuous, vibrant activity within the quantum vacuum is a direct and astonishing consequence of the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, a foundational tenet of quantum mechanics that we've encountered in previous contemplations. While most famously applied to pairs like a particle's position and momentum, the uncertainty principle also extends to energy and time. It states that you cannot simultaneously know with perfect precision the energy of a quantum system and the duration for which it possesses that energy. Mathematically, this is expressed as delta E delta t is greater than or equal to A2, where delta E is the uncertainty in energy, t is the uncertainty in time, and A is Planck's reduced constant. This fundamental principle implies that even in a vacuum, where classical energy is supposedly zero, There is an inherent, irreducible uncertainty in energy. This means that energy cannot be perfectly zero, even for an infinitesimally brief instant. This tiny, fleeting uncertainty in energy allows for a momentary violation of the law of conservation of energy, enabling the spontaneous, ephemeral appearance of virtual particles. These are fleeting particle-antipical pairs, like electrons, and positrons, or photons, that literally pop into existence from nowhere, exist for an infinitesimally brief moment, and then almost immediately annihilate each other, vanishing back into the void from which they came. They are virtual because they cannot be directly observed as persistent particles, but they are undeniably real in their effects, continuously borrowing energy from the vacuum itself, only to pay it back almost instantaneously, creating a ceaseless cosmic dance of fleeting existence. The reality and dynamism of these virtual particles and the quantum vacuum are not mere theoretical constructs. They are unequivocally confirmed by experimental evidence. One of the most compelling demonstrations is the Casimir effect. Imagine two uncharged, perfectly parallel conducting plates brought incredibly close together in a vacuum, separated by only a few nanometers. Intuitively, classical physics would predict no force between them. However, quantum mechanics predicts a tiny, yet measurable, attractive force that pushes the plates together. This force arises because the quantum vacuum between the plates can only sustain virtual particles with wavelengths that fit precisely into the minuscule gap. Outside the plates, however, the vacuum fluctuations can produce virtual particles of all possible wavelengths. This means there are more virtual particles and more vacuum energy outside the plates than between them, creating an imbalance of quantum pressure that subtly pushes the plates together. The experimental confirmation of the Casimir effect has been a profound triumph for quantum mechanics, providing undeniable empirical proof that the quantum vacuum is not empty and inert, but a vibrant, active medium teeming with virtual particles and fluctuating energy. This makes the invisible visible, demonstrating the very real physical consequences of what we once considered nothing. This ceaseless activity within the quantum vacuum is also often referred to as the zero-point field, or zero-point energy. It represents the lowest possible energy level that any quantum mechanical system can possess, even at a temperature of absolute zero, where all classical motion ceases. Unlike classical systems, quantum systems can never truly be at rest or possess zero energy. They always retain a minimum amount of vibrational energy due to quantum fluctuations. This universal background hum of existence, this pervading sea of inherent energy, suggests that emptiness is inherently filled with an immense, ubiquitous energy that is far from static. While harnessing this energy for practical human use remains highly speculative and is a subject of ongoing, often controversial research. Its very existence means that nothingness is fundamentally pregnant with potential, a boundless wellspring from which the very fabric of reality continuously bubbles. Fourth, this perspective transforms nothing from a passive void into a dynamic, active, and endlessly creative medium, a fundamental constituent of the universe itself. From the perspective of quantum field theory, QFT, which provides our deepest understanding of fundamental particles and forces, the concept of a vacuum becomes even more profound. In QFT, fundamental particles like electrons, photons, or quarks are not viewed as tiny, discrete objects. Instead, they are understood as localized excitations or ripples in pervasive, underlying quantum fields that fill all of space. The electron field exists everywhere, and an electron is simply a ripple or a vibration in that field. The photon is a ripple in the electromagnetic field. In this view, the vacuum is simply the ground state of these quantum fields, their lowest energy configuration where there are no ripples corresponding to particles. However, even in this ground state, These quantum fields are continuously fluctuating due to the inherent uncertainty principle giving rise to virtual particles. This perspective makes the vacuum the fundamental reality, the ultimate canvas, the primordial soup from which all forms arise. Particles are not things that exist independently, but temporary, energetic excitations in these pervasive fields, constantly emerging from and receding back into the vibrant emptiness of the quantum vacuum, highlighting the impermanent yet ceaseless flow of existence. This radical redefinition of nothingness has profound implications for our understanding of reality, our origins, and the true nature of creation. If nothing is not truly empty, but a vibrant, pregnant void, a quantum sea teeming with implicit information and immense potential, then the universe's creation becomes less of a miraculous event from an external, isolated source and more of an inherent, spontaneous, and continuous property of reality itself. It suggests that existence is not an exception or an arbitrary event, but a fundamental tendency, continuously emerging from a background of boundless potential. This offers a deeply calming perspective. We are not floating in a cold, indifferent vacuum, but in a dynamic, living emptiness. A ceaseless dance of creation and annihilation that is the very fabric of the cosmos. This continuous bubbling of potential, this ceaseless emergence of something from apparent nothing, hints at a universe that is perpetually birthing itself, a testament to its inherent aliveness, its boundless capacity for self-creation, and its unending source of novelty. The mystery of nothingness, then, transforms from a philosophical void into a vibrant, fertile ground, inviting us to find peace in the boundless potential that resides in what seems to be empty, fostering a deeper connection to the creative pulse of the universe and a profound appreciation for the subtle, ceaseless activity that underlies all existence, even when we are asleep. Having gently delved into the profound philosophical whispers surrounding the concept of nothingness, and then journeyed into the astonishing dynamism of the quantum vacuum, a teeming sea of potential where virtual particles ceaselessly flicker into and out of existence, we now turn our contemplative gaze to an even grander, more immense manifestation of emptiness, the colossal, silent realms of cosmic voids. These aren't merely empty pockets of space. They're the universe's vast, quiet exhalations, its deepest breaths. Immense regions that stretch for millions, even billions, of light years, where galaxies are scarce and matter is distributed with an almost unimaginable sparseness. Imagine the universe not as a uniformly filled expanse, but as a colossal sponge or a vast, intricate lace, where the threads are shimmering filaments of galaxies, and the holes are these immense, silent, nearly empty bubbles. This section invites us to calmly explore these profound cosmic absences, to understand their origins, their structure, and what these vast stretches of quiet emptiness tell us about the hidden architecture and the profound life of the universe, fostering a deeper, more serene appreciation for the grand, silent design of existence itself. Cosmic voids are, in essence, the largest known structures in the universe. They are vast, roughly spherical regions of cosmic space that contain very few or no galaxies, existing as the antithesis to the dense clusters and shining filaments of the cosmic web, that grand, interconnected tapestry of galaxies that permeates the observable universe. While the cosmic web is often compared to a neural network, with galaxies as neurons and filaments as axons, the cosmic voids are the immense spaces between these neural connections, making up the vast majority of the universe's volume. Their scale is almost incomprehensible to the human mind. Individual voids can span hundreds of millions of light years across, with some of the largest, known as supervoids, reaching diameters of over 1 billion light years. Within these colossal, empty expanses, the average density of matter boasts visible baryonic matter stars, galaxies, gas, and the mysterious dark matters significantly lower. perhaps by factors of 10 or more than the average density of the universe as a whole. This profound sparseness defines them as true cosmic deserts, vast realms of profound quietude and overwhelming emptiness, where the very concept of scale begins to dissolve into an almost spiritual contemplation of cosmic immensity. The formation of cosmic voids is a majestic slow-motion ballet that has unfolded over billions of years since the Big Bang, driven by the ceaseless, organizing hand of gravity. In the very early universe, immediately after the Big Bang, matter was distributed almost uniformly, with only tiny, imperceptible quantum fluctuations in density. Over cosmic epochs, gravity, the universe's ultimate sculptor, began to tirelessly amplify these minute irregularities. Regions that were slightly denser began to exert a stronger gravitational pull, slowly but relentlessly attracting more and more surrounding matter, pulling in gas, dark matter, and nascent galaxies. This process of gravitational accretion gradually led to the formation of denser structures, the first stars, then galaxies, which subsequently coalesced into immense clusters of galaxies. As matter flowed towards these growing gravitational wells, it was simultaneously pulled away from other regions of space. These evacuated regions gradually expanded, becoming ever larger and emptier as the surrounding matter was drawn into the forming filaments and clusters. Cosmic voids, therefore, are not empty by chance. They are the consequence of a cosmic draining. Vast regions from which matter was gravitationally siphoned off, leaving them largely barren. This dynamic process of matter flowing from areas of lower density to areas of higher density, continuously sculpting the universe into its observed sponge-like or web-like architecture, is beautifully illustrated in large-scale cosmological simulations which consistently reproduce the vast network of filaments, clusters, and voids, revealing the universe's self-organizing nature, the nature of this emptiness within. Cosmic voids is a fascinating subject of scientific inquiry. While they are characterized by an extreme lack of galaxies and visible matter, they are not, in fact, absolutely empty in the purest philosophical sense of true nothingness. Cosmic voids still contain some highly diffuse intergalactic gas, albeit at extremely low densities. They also contain the pervasive invisible dark matter, though at concentrations much lower than in the filaments and clusters. Importantly, they are permeated by photons from the cosmic microwave background, the faint, ancient afterglow of the Big Bang, and crisscrossed by neutrinos, tiny elusive particles that interact very weakly with matter. And, perhaps most profoundly, they are filled with dark energy, the mysterious force believed to be responsible for the accelerating expansion of the universe. So, while incredibly sparse, voids are far from being inert, true vacuums. They are vast expanses where the fundamental laws of physics still operate, where space-time continues to exist and expand, and where subtle forms of matter and energy persist, albeit at densities far below what our minds can easily grasp. Their overwhelming vastness and profound quietude, the almost complete absence of the familiar light from stars, create an environment of ultimate cosmic solitude, where existence feels stretched thin, a profound testament to the scale of universal emptiness. The significance of cosmic voids extends far beyond their sheer size. They serve as crucial probes into the fundamental nature and evolution of the universe. Firstly, they act as fundamental features of the cosmic map, helping us to understand the universe's overall large-scale structure. By studying the size, shape, and distribution of voids, astronomers can infer critical information about the density of matter in the universe, the properties of dark matter, and the influence of dark energy. They provide a complementary perspective to studying the clustering of galaxies, offering unique insights into the gravitational forces that have shaped the cosmos. Secondly, voids serve as powerful probes of cosmological models. For instance, Theories about the nature of dark energy, the mysterious force driving the universe, is accelerating. Expansion can be tested by observing how voids have grown and evolved over cosmic time. As dark energy is expected to cause voids to expand, even faster than matter-rich regions. Their unique properties make them sensitive indicators of the underlying cosmological parameters. Thirdly, while seemingly empty, voids exert a subtle gravitational influence. Their immense emptiness acts like a negative gravitational force, subtly pulling on the surrounding cosmic web and shaping the flow of galaxies into filaments. This means that even cosmic nothingness is an active, influential participant in the universe's ongoing evolution, a silent sculptor of cosmic forms. The very scale of these voids forces a deeply humble and awe-inspiring perspective on our place in the cosmos. To imagine a space so vast that it contains only a handful of galaxies, if any, stretches the limits of human comprehension. Contemplating the boat's void, famously dubbed the Great Nothing, which spans an astonishing 330 million light-years across and contains only a handful of galaxies in what should be thousands, truly underscores the universe's capacity for emptiness. This vastness and profound solitude might seem daunting to some, emphasizing our own minuscule size. However, for others, it can be a source of profound peace. It dissolves the illusion of a crowded, bustling universe, revealing a cosmos that is largely composed of serene, vast, and quiet space. A balance between the dazzling brilliance of galaxies and the profound silence of the void. This contemplation encourages a sense of letting go, of surrendering to the immense scale of existence, knowing that our individual concerns are but tiny flickers in this grand, silent cosmic dance, fostering a deep inner calm. Philosophically, cosmic voids profoundly deepen our inquiry into is nothingness alive? They are physical manifestations of immense emptiness, yet they are dynamically carved by gravity, filled with dark energy, and contribute fundamentally to the universe's structure. They embody the paradox of fullness and emptiness that ancient philosophies explored, and the teeming potential of the quantum vacuum. These voids are not simply absent of something. They are defined by the presence of a profound lack of matter that actively shapes the surrounding universe. This challenges our binary thinking about something and nothing, suggesting that even vast cosmic emptiness is a vibrant, active participant in the ongoing creation of reality. They represent the universe's deepest, slowest breath, an immense inhalation and exhalation that defines its rhythm and its structure. Finding calm in the contemplation of these vast, silent realms allows us to recognize that silence and space are not merely passive backdrops, but fundamental, active components in the universe's grand design, fostering a serene appreciation for the profound, often invisible, balance that governs all existence, leading us to a deeper understanding of the living nature of nothing. Here is Section 8, the zero-point field. Energy from nothing, meticulously expanded to meet your requirements for the Sleepster channel, crafted in the exact style of your reference script and omitting the specific opening phrase as requested. Title: Is nothingness alive? Can the universe's emptiness birth everything? Sleepster deep dive to hours continuing from previous sections, ... closing parenthesis. Section 8, the zero-point field. Energy from nothing beyond the grand, silent expanse of cosmic voids, those colossal absences that shape the universe's large-scale structure. And following our contemplation of the vibrant, yet elusive, quantum vacuum that teems with fleeting virtual particles, we now turn our focus to an even more fundamental and profoundly astonishing concept, the zero-point field. This isn't just an abstract theoretical construct. It is a scientific revelation that suggests what we perceive as utter emptiness is, in fact, a boundless, ceaseless sea of inherent energy, a vibrant cosmic background hum from which everything might, in a very real sense, emerge. Imagine a space stripped of all matter, all light, all heat, brought to the absolute coldest possible temperature. Classically, this would be ultimate nothingness, a state of perfect stillness. Yet, quantum mechanics insists that even this deepest void is teeming with invisible, furious activity, perpetually generating energy from nothing. This section invites us to calmly explore the bizarre science of the zero-point field, to understand its origins in fundamental physics, and to contemplate what this inherent, omnipresent energy tells us about the universe's boundless creative power, fostering a deeper, more serene appreciation for the hidden dynamism that underpins all existence, ensuring that even in absolute stillness, there is ceaseless, vibrant potential. The concept of the zero-point field arises directly from the perplexing, yet incredibly accurate, principles of quantum mechanics, the framework that describes reality at its most minuscule scales. As we've explored, at the quantum level, particles do not have definite positions or momenta simultaneously. They exist as waves of probability, and their properties are fundamentally uncertain. This is precisely where the zero-point field finds its roots, the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, when applied to energy and time, states that you cannot simultaneously know with perfect precision the energy of a quantum system and the exact duration for which it possesses that energy. Mathematically, this implies that even in a vacuum, where energy is supposedly at its lowest possible state zero, there must always be a tiny, irreducible uncertainty in energy. This fundamental quantum jitter or noise means that energy cannot be perfectly zero, even for an instant, even in what appears to be empty space. Consequently, this inherent energy uncertainty allows for the continuous, spontaneous, and fleeting creation of virtual particles and antiparticles that flicker into existence from the vacuum itself, borrowing energy for an infinitesimally brief moment before annihilating each other and vanishing back into the void. These are not real particles in the sense of being persistent, but their transient existence has measurable effects, proving the quantum vacuum is far from empty. It is a restless, energetic quantum foam, perpetually bubbling with fleeting reality. The reality and immense dynamism of the zero-point field are not merely abstract theoretical predictions. They are unequivocally confirmed by elegant and precise experimental evidence. One of the most famous and compelling demonstrations is the Casimir effect. Imagine two uncharged, perfectly parallel conducting plates brought incredibly close together in a vacuum, separated by only a few nanometers. Intuitively, classical physics would predict no force between them. However, quantum mechanics makes a startling prediction. A tiny, yet measurable, attractive force will push the plates together. This force arises because the quantum vacuum between the plates can only sustain virtual particles with specific wavelengths that precisely fit into the minuscule gap. It's creating a limited spectrum of fluctuations. Outside the plates, however, the vacuum fluctuations can produce virtual particles of all possible wavelengths, resulting in a much broader spectrum of energy. This creates an imbalance of quantum pressure, subtly pushing the plates together. The experimental confirmation of the Casimir effect has been a profound triumph for quantum mechanics, providing undeniable empirical proof that the quantum vacuum is not empty and inert, but a vibrant, active medium teeming with virtual particles and fluctuating energy, demonstrating the very real, physical consequences of what we once considered nothing. Another piece of evidence for the zero-point field is the Lamb shift, a tiny yet precisely measured shift in the energy levels of hydrogen atoms. This minuscule energy difference, which defied classical electromagnetic theory, was later successfully explained by the continuous interaction of the atom's electron with the virtual particles of the zero-point field. Even the spontaneous emission of light by an excited atom, a process common in quantum physics, is understood to be triggered by the atom's interaction with the vacuum fluctuations of the zero-point field. Rather than needing an external stimulus, these phenomena collectively point to a universal background of ceaseless quantum activity, a cosmic energy field that underpins all of existence. The theoretical implications of the zero-point field extend far beyond microscopic phenomena, hinting at a boundless, pervasive energy that might influence the cosmos on its grandest scales. The theoretical energy density of the zero-point field, if all possible quantum fluctuations are considered, is astronomically immense, so vast that it could, theoretically, possess enough energy to boil the oceans in every cubic centimeter of space. While practical methods for extracting this energy for human use remain highly speculative and face significant theoretical and engineering challenges, the laws of thermodynamics, particularly the second law, still apply, making extraction of useful work from a uniform field incredibly difficult. Its mere existence suggests a universe brimming with an unimaginable source of implicit energy. Furthermore, some prominent, albeit speculative, hypotheses in cosmology propose a profound connection between the zero-point field and dark energy, the mysterious force believed to be responsible for the accelerating expansion of the universe. The uniform, pervasive nature of dark energy, which seems to exert a constant outward pressure on space-time, bears conceptual similarities to the omnipresent energy of the quantum vacuum. If the energy density of the zero-point field could be the source of dark energy, it would provide an elegant, unified explanation for one of cosmology's greatest mysteries. Though precise calculations and reconciliation between quantum field theory and general relativity for this purpose remain a significant challenge for physicists. Beyond its potential cosmological roles, the zero-point field has also been speculatively linked to other fundamental aspects of reality, such as inertia and even gravity itself. Some theories propose that inertia, the resistance of an object to changes in its state of motion, might not be an intrinsic property of mass, but rather an emergent property arising from the interaction of matter with the zero-point field. In this view, as an object accelerates, it experiences greater resistance from the continuous flux of virtual particles in the ZPF, which manifests as inertia. More audaciously, some physicists have explored the idea that gravity itself could be an emergent phenomenon arising from the complex dynamics of the zero-point field, rather than a fundamental force. While these ideas are highly theoretical and far from mainstream acceptance, they highlight the profound philosophical implications of the ZPF, suggesting that fundamental properties of our universe might ultimately arise from the very nature of empty space, continuously interacting with this vibrant, hidden energy background. Philosophically, the zero-point field fundamentally redefines our understanding of nothingness. It compels us to abandon the simplistic, classical notion of an inert, passive void. Instead, nothing transforms into a vibrant, teeming sea of potential, a dynamic background hum of existence from which all phenomena continuously emerge. It is not an absence, but a boundless, inexhaustible source of pure energy and implicit information. This perspective offers a deeply calming and awe-inspiring view of the universe. We are not floating in a cold, indifferent vacuum, but in a dynamic, living emptiness, a ceaseless dance of creation and annihilation that is the very fabric of the cosmos. This continuous bubbling of potential, this ceaseless emergence of something from apparent nothing, hints at a universe that is perpetually birthing itself, a testament to its inherent aliveness, its boundless capacity for self-creation, and its unending source of novelty. The mystery of nothingness, then, transforms from a philosophical conundrum into a vibrant, fertile ground for existence, inviting us to find peace in the boundless potential that resides in what seems to be empty, fostering a deeper connection to the creative pulse of the universe and a profound appreciation for the subtle, ceaseless activity that underlies all existence. even in profound stillness. Philosophically, the idea of creation from emptiness is deeply awe-inspiring. It suggests that existence is not an exception, but a fundamental tendency, continuously emerging from a background of boundless potential. This offers a deeply calming perspective. We are not floating in a cold, indifferent vacuum, but in a dynamic, living emptiness, a ceaseless dance of creation and annihilation that is the very fabric of the cosmos. This continuous bubbling of potential, this ceaseless emergence of something from apparent nothing, hints at a universe that is perpetually birthing itself, a testament to its inherent aliveness, its boundless capacity for self-creation, and its unending source of novelty. The mystery of nothingness then transforms from a philosophical conundrum into a vibrant, fertile ground for existence, inviting us to find peace in the boundless potential that resides in what seems to be empty, fostering a deeper connection to the creative pulse of the universe and a profound appreciation for the subtle, ceaseless activity that underlies all existence, even in profound stillness and apparent void. It implies that the deepest secret of reality is that it is its own source, continuously arising from a dynamic interplay of fundamental laws and quantum potentials, a continuous, elegant act of cosmic genesis. Beyond the grand, silent expanse of cosmic voids, and having contemplated the astonishing dynamism of the quantum vacuum, that teeming sea of potential brimming with a ceaseless zero-point energy, we now arrive at the ultimate, most profound, and deeply captivating question of all. How could anything the universe itself, with its myriad stars, galaxies, and the very fabric of space-time, have arisen from this fundamental emptiness? This is the cosmic genesis, the profound mystery of creation from nothing, a concept that has perplexed philosophers and scientists for millennia, yet which modern cosmology increasingly suggests might be an inherent, almost inevitable, property of reality itself. Imagine the universe's earliest moments, not as a thunderous explosion in pre-existing space, but as a spontaneous, almost magical quantum fluctuation, a magnificent leap from potentiality into actuality, giving birth to everything we know. This section invites us to calmly explore the most cutting-edge scientific ideas surrounding the universe's origin, to understand how cosmic inflation and quantum principles offer mechanisms for something to emerge from nothing. A deeper, more serene appreciation for the boundless creative power embedded within the very heart of universal emptiness. Our journey into creation must, of course, begin with the Big Bang Theory, the most widely accepted scientific model describing the origin and evolution of our universe. This theory posits that approximately 13.8 billion years ago, the entire observable universe began from an incredibly hot, dense state, a singularity, from which all of space-time, matter, and energy emerged and began to expand. However, the Big Bang Theory, in its original form, described what happened after this initial dense state. It didn't fully explain how that initial state itself came into being or what existed before it. This left a profound philosophical dilemma. If there was truly nothing before the Big Bang, how could something have emerged? This question has long been a battleground for philosophical and theological debates, with some seeing it as evidence for a supernatural creator and others seeking a scientific mechanism for spontaneous genesis. The very concept of a true beginning, a point at which even time itself came into existence, challenges our intuitive understanding of causality, compelling us to look for a deeper, more fundamental explanation that could bridge the gap between absolute absence and boundless presence, the most compelling scientific answer to this primordial puzzle emerges from the theory of inflationary cosmology, a groundbreaking extension of the Big Bang model proposed in the 1980s. Inflation posits that in the first infinitesimally tiny fraction of a second after the Big Bang, from about 1036 to 1032 seconds, the universe underwent an incredibly rapid exponential expansion, stretching space by an unimaginable factor, perhaps 1026 times or more. This rapid expansion solves several perplexing problems left by the standard Big Bang model, such as why the universe is so remarkably flat, why it appears so uniform across vast distances, the horizon problem, and why it lacks certain exotic particles, magnetic monopoles. But, crucially, inflationary theory also offers a profound mechanism for creation from emptiness. It suggests that the energy driving this initial rapid expansion, and subsequently the matter and energy of the entire universe, could have effectively emerged from the quantum vacuum fluctuations of a primordial scalar field, often called the inflaton field. Imagine this field permeating the initial nascent spacetime. As the inflaton field settled into a lower energy state, it released immense amounts of energy, which then drove the exponential expansion of space and eventually converted into the matter and radiation that formed the universe we observe. In this view, the universe is not necessarily created from absolute philosophical nothingness, but rather from the inherent potential and energy fluctuations of the quantum vacuum, a concept we explored previously. This brings us directly to the profound role of quantum fluctuations as the very seeds of creation. As we understood from the zero-point field, the quantum vacuum is not truly empty. It's a sea of potential. How tiny random quantum fluctuations in the vacuum, normally fleeting, could have been stretched by inflation to cosmic scales. These stretched fluctuations became the initial density perturbations that grew into galaxies and the cosmic web. This makes the quantum vacuum the fertile ground, the cosmic womb. The universe as a giant virtual particle that never fully annihilated due to rapid expansion. This transformative perspective turns the seemingly impossible creation from nothing into a fundamental, elegant property of quantum reality. The very structure of spacetime itself, as described by Einstein's theories of relativity, further complicates the notion of absolute nothingness. Spacetime is not an empty stage, but a dynamic, elastic fabric that can be stretched, compressed, and warped by the presence of matter and energy. Even in the absence of matter, spacetime itself exists as a fundamental background. Moreover, the laws of physics themselves, the fundamental constants, and the underlying mathematical principles are something that exists even in a conceptual void. So, true nothingness would imply the absence of even these laws, a state that our minds struggle to grasp. If reality is fundamentally information, as some theories suggest, and even an empty void might contain the latent informational code for existence, a blueprint waiting to be actualized. This challenges us to consider if nothing can ever truly be devoid of potential, or if it is inherently pregnant with possibility. Its very essence defined by what it could become. This radical redefinition of nothingness has profound implications for our understanding of reality, our origins, and the true nature of existence. Nothing is not truly empty, but a vibrant, pregnant void. Then the universe's creation becomes less of a miraculous event from an external source and more of an inherent, spontaneous property of reality itself. It suggests that existence is not an exception, but a fundamental tendency, continuously emerging from a background of potential. This offers a deeply calming perspective. We are not floating in a cold, indifferent vacuum, but in a dynamic, living emptiness, a ceaseless dance of creation and annihilation that is the very fabric of the cosmos. This continuous bubbling of potential, this ceaseless emergence of something from apparent nothing, hints at a universe that is perpetually birthing, itself a testament to its inherent aliveness, its boundless capacity for self-creation, and its unending source of novelty. The mystery of nothingness, then, transforms from a philosophical conundrum into a vibrant, fertile ground for existence, inviting us to find peace in the boundless potential that resides in what seems to be empty, fostering a deeper connection to the creative pulse of the universe and a profound appreciation for the subtle, ceaseless activity that underlies all existence, even in profound stillness. Beyond the cosmic genesis, having contemplated how the universe itself might arise from the boundless potential of emptiness, and after exploring the vibrant dynamism of the quantum vacuum, that teeming sea of subtle energy, we now arrive at perhaps the most profound, most elusive, and ultimately most intimate mystery of all, the enigma of consciousness itself, and its perplexing relationship with the very concept of the void. How, from what appears to be mere physical activity, the ceaseless electrochemical ballet of billions of tiny cells within our brains, or the vast, seemingly inanimate expanse of the cosmos, something as intangible, as private, and as profoundly real as subjective awareness, actually emerge? What unseen alchemy transforms physical energy into the vivid redness of a sunset, the comforting warmth of a cherished memory, or the complex tapestry of a deeply felt emotion, giving rise to the persistent, unique feeling of I? This question, the hard problem of consciousness, has captivated philosophers and scientists for millennia, and continues to be the ultimate frontier of human inquiry. This section invites us to calmly and contemplatively explore the nature of this profound mystery, to understand how mind might be intricately woven into the fabric of what seems to be nothingness, and to grapple with the elusive sense of self, fostering a deeper appreciation for the interactive, mysterious nature of existence itself, finding profound meaning in the dance between thought and the void. At its core, consciousness refers to our state of being aware of internal and external existence. It is the raw, subjective experience of awareness, the what-it's-like quality of a perception, a thought, or a feeling. When you perceive the color red, you don't just process a wavelength of light. You have a unique, internal, qualitative experience of redness. When you feel joy, it is a particular felt sensation, an internal state of being. This private, first-person perspective, accessible only to the experiencer, is what defines consciousness. It is distinct from mere intelligence, which can be seen in complex algorithms or highly functional robots that perform tasks without any evidence of subjective awareness. Consciousness is also more than just wakefulness. A person in a persistent, vegetative state might be awake with eyes open and basic reflexes present, but show no signs of conscious awareness. Conversely, a sleeping person is not awake, yet their dreams can be vividly conscious, constructing entire worlds of experience. The true enigma lies in explaining why physical brain activity neurons firing, neurotransmitters flowing should give rise to this qualitative felt experience at all. This is the hard problem of consciousness, a term coined by philosopher David Chalmers, distinguishing it from the easy problems of consciousness, which involve identifying the neural correlates of specific cognitive functions like attention, memory, or information processing. While neuroscientists can map which brain regions are active when you see red, they struggle to explain why that activity is accompanied by the subjective experience of redness, hinting at a reality beyond pure physicality, the apparent contradiction of a conscious mind arising within a seemingly vast, inanimate, and largely empty universe pushes us to reconsider the nature of both mind and emptiness. Our brains, the very seat of our consciousness, are themselves largely composed of empty space at the atomic and subatomic levels, as we explored earlier. Neurons, like all atoms, are vast expanses of emptiness with tiny nuclei. Synapses, the crucial points of communication between neurons, are physical voids across which chemical signals bridge the gap. Even the larger structures within the brain, such as the fluid-filled ventricles and the intricate network of sulci and gyri, contain space and fluid, not just solid matter. If the brain generates consciousness and it is itself a structure built upon and containing immense amounts of emptiness in a physical sense, what does that imply about the generative power of organized emptiness? Could consciousness be arising from the organized emptiness or potential within the brain's intricate architecture, rather than simply from the solid bits? This philosophical inquiry suggests that the void within us, far from being inert, might be a fundamental component in the genesis of our own inner awareness. This line of thought leads us directly back to the quantum vacuum, that astonishing sea of potential we previously explored. The quantum vacuum is not empty. It is teeming with virtual particles constantly flickering into and out of existence, driven by the zero-point field. If existence, at its most fundamental, is this ceaseless dance of potential, then could consciousness itself be a manifestation of the zero-point field? A particular, highly complex configuration of these quantum fluctuations that resonates with awareness. Some speculative theories, like the orchestrated objective reduction or core model, propose that consciousness arises from quantum processes occurring within microtubulized tiny protein structures within neurons. While highly controversial, such theories implicitly link consciousness to the very quantum emptiness that underlies all matter. The perplexing measurement problem in quantum mechanics also returns to the forefront. If quantum states exist as probabilities until observed, and consciousness plays a key role in what constitutes an observation or measurement, then consciousness is actively participating in drawing reality from a state of emptiness and potential. This suggests that the quantum void is not just a source of particles, but perhaps the very medium through which reality actualizes itself, guided by the presence of awareness, blurring the lines between mind and the fundamental fabric of space-time, extending this contemplation to the grand cosmic scale. We can explore the relationship between consciousness and cosmic voids, those immense, nearly empty regions that define the universe's large-scale structure. If the universe is indeed a cosmic brain, as our overarching hypothesis suggests, then could these vast, silent voids be analogous to the dark spaces or quiescent areas where cosmic consciousness might reside, or operate without the noise of densely packed matter? Just as the human brain has periods of deep rest and less intense activity, for example, during sleep, when consciousness is still present but different, perhaps cosmic voids represent analogous states within a universal mind. They might be the background against which denser cosmic thoughts, galaxy clusters, and filaments form, or the vast, silent regions that allow for global integration and processing by a cosmic consciousness without direct interference from localized activity. This perspective implies that emptiness on a cosmic scale might be essential for the functioning of a vast, distributed, universal mind, suggesting that profound awareness can exist not just in the presence of matter, but also in its profound absence. This deep connection between consciousness and the void finds fertile ground in philosophical traditions like panpsychism and cosmopsychism. If panpsychism is truth, an idea that mind or consciousness is a fundamental property of all reality, not just brains, then it follows that even empty space, the quantum vacuum, cosmic voids, might possess a rudimentary form of awareness, or, more likely, be the medium through which consciousness pervades the cosmos. In this view, consciousness would be as fundamental as space-time itself. Cosmopsychism specifically posits that the universe as a whole is conscious, and our individual minds are merely facets, parts, or localized expressions of this larger, universal mind. In this framework, the void is not a sterile nothingness, but the vast canvas for this universal mind's experience, its continuous thought, and its unending self-awareness. It implies that consciousness is not an anomaly in the universe, but its very nature, existing even in its most seemingly empty states. Eastern philosophies have long explored the profound implications of emptiness for the nature of mind and Awareness? In Buddhism, the concept of sunyata emptiness is not a nihilistic void, but rather the understanding that all phenomena are empty of inherent, independent existence. This emptiness is the ground of all being, full of boundless potential and the very condition for things to arise. Cultivating an empty mind in meditative practices involves releasing attachments to thoughts and perceptions, allowing the mind to settle into a state of profound stillness and spaciousness. Paradoxically, it is in this state of mental emptiness that practitioners often report experiencing higher states of awareness, profound insights, and a deeper connection to reality. Similarly, Taoism emphasizes the utility and creative power of emptiness. Seeing the Tao the ultimate principle of the universe is formless and empty, yet from which all things emerge. The empty space in a cup, the empty interior of a room, are what make them useful. This wisdom suggests that cultivating inner stillness, an empty mind, is a pathway to profound wisdom and spontaneous action, mirroring the universe's own creative genesis from emptiness. These ancient traditions propose that the void is not a barrier to mind, but its very source. Connecting the inner void meditation to the cosmic void, the contemplation of the paradox of fullness in emptiness is perhaps the most calming aspect of this profound inquiry. The idea that true creativity, complex consciousness, and the entire tapestry of reality can emerge from what seems to be nothing is deeply awe-inspiring. It suggests that the void is not sterile or inert. It is profoundly fertile, continuously giving birth to existence. This inherent generative power of emptiness transforms our understanding of nothing from a terrifying absence into a boundless source of potential, an endless wellspring of novelty. Finding peace in the idea that our minds, too, can find profound insights, solve complex problems, and experience deep serenity in moments of stillness, contemplation, and mental emptiness, as in meditation, resonates deeply with the universe's own creative capacity. This realization invites us to embrace stillness, not as an absence of activity, but as a rich ground for internal experience, where thoughts can emerge from a calm, spacious mind. Ultimately, the ultimate mystery remains: how does subjective experience arise? But the question of consciousness and the void transforms this mystery into a source of profound wonder and comfort. Could the universe's emptiness, its cosmic voids, its quantum vacuum, truly be its deepest sentience, its inherent awareness? Could the fundamental nothingness that underpins reality be alive and perhaps the very ground of a universal mind? Finding calm in this contemplation leads to a quiet acceptance that even the deepest voids are teeming with potential and, perhaps, a form of consciousness blurring the lines between observer and observed, existence and potentiality. Our very connection to this mind in nothingness implies that we are not isolated beings in an indifferent vacuum, but intimately woven into a living, thinking universe, a tiny part of its vast, continuous thought process. This contemplation invites us to rest in the understanding that the universe's secret might not be a hidden object, but an inherent, living emptiness, endlessly giving birth to all that is and to all that ever will be, a profound and calming truth that permeates every aspect of existence, even as we drift into sleep. Beyond the deep cosmic puzzles of creation from emptiness, and having gently explored the profound, bewildering dance between consciousness and the very void, we now arrive at the ultimate, most serene, and perhaps most comforting insight of all it is here, at the very edge of our understanding, where the known gives way to the utterly mysterious, that we discover a unique, enduring pathway to profound tranquility, the ability to find a deep sense of peace and boundless solace, not despite the unknowable, but precisely and beautifully within its vast, shimmering embrace. This is the philosophical lullaby of emptiness, the profound paradox of peace in mystery, the tranquil realization that contemplating immense, incomprehensible enigmas far from inducing anxiety or a chilling sense of cosmic insignificance, can instead serve to gently miniaturize our most persistent personal worries, to dissolve the relentless grip of daily anxieties, and to quietly usher in a pervasive sense of calm and a serene acceptance of our beautiful yet tiny place in the grand unfolding cosmic dance. This section invites us to embrace mystery, not as a void of ignorance to be feared, but as a fertile ground for boundless wonder, fostering a serene humility that nourishes the soul and guides us towards a deeper, more enduring calm, even as we prepare for sleep. The very act of consciously contemplating magnitudes that utterly defy our direct experience, whether it's the astonishing scale of cosmic voids spanning billions of light years, the mind-bending concept of a universe as a single colossal brain cell within a larger consciousness, or the chilling tales of ships vanishing without a trace in mysterious oceanic expanses, can trigger a profound and deeply liberating psychological shift. Our everyday concerns, those persistent eddies of stress that swirl tirelessly in our minds, the weight of our professional deadlines, the minor frustrations that so often consume our waking thoughts, or the nagging anxieties about the future, can suddenly appear infinitesimally small when viewed through such a grand, cosmic, or even mythological lens. This transformative feeling is akin to what astronauts often describe as the overview effect, a profound cognitive and emotional shift reported by space travelers who, upon viewing Earth from the serene vantage point of orbit, experience a humbling sense of awe, unity, and deep interconnectedness. Their personal troubles and earthly divisions suddenly seem trivial and insignificant against the backdrop of the fragile, luminous planet suspended in the vast, indifferent beauty of space. In a similar vein, our philosophical journey into the paradox of nothingness, by placing our individual concerns within the context of a universe full of greater unknowns, invites us to internalize this same calming overview effect. It transforms our perspective from being isolated, fragile beings into feeling like an intricate, though tiny, part of something unimaginably grand, living and deeply connected. This profound shift fosters a sense of gentle humility that is remarkably liberating, allowing the relentless pressure of self-importance and the tight grip of control to gently dissipate, replaced by a quiet, pervasive sense of belonging to something far vaster and more ancient than ourselves. This liberating detachment from the immediate and the mundane is often accompanied by the profound realization that mystery itself is not a void, but a fertile, boundless ground for wonder and continuous discovery. For centuries, humanity has tirelessly striven to unravel the universe's countless secrets, driven by an insatiable curiosity and the scientific method's relentless empirical pursuit of knowledge. Yet, the persistent allure of enigmas like the true nature of nothingness, or the origins of existence from emptiness, and the very concept of a fundamentally unknowable reality, gently remind us that not everything needs to be solved, categorized, or neatly explained to possess immense value, beauty, or profound meaning. In fact, the unanswered questions, the tantalizing glimpses of truths that lie just beyond our current grasp, can often be far more inspiring and creatively stimulating than definitive, all-encompassing answers. The allure of the unsaid, the majestic beauty of the unquantifiable, the quiet, almost spiritual beauty found in incomplete knowledge, these are powerful, almost magnetic, forces that invite continuous contemplation, spark boundless imagination, and foster a deeper, more enduring sense of awe. Instead of causing existential angst or intellectual frustration, the idea that the universe might be inherently mysterious, or even fundamentally alien to our full comprehension, can be deeply comforting. It releases us from the cognitive burden of having to comprehend everything, of constantly striving for absolute certainty, allowing our minds to serenely rest in the boundless expanse of the unknown. This calm acceptance of limits is not a surrender of intellectual curiosity, but rather a mature and profound acknowledgement of the universe's inherent complexity, ensuring that our sense of wonder remains perpetually alive, eternally nourished by the endless possibilities that lie just beyond our current horizon of knowledge and understanding. Furthermore, finding a deep sense of peace in the unknowable means cultivating the profound humility of unknowing. Our modern world often relentlessly demands definitive answers, quick solutions, and a sometimes false sense of absolute certainty in every domain. Yet, the most profound scientific and philosophical inquiries often lead us precisely to the very edge of what can be known, simultaneously revealing the vast, humbling expanse of our own ignorance. Philosophers, like the poet John Keats, have spoken eloquently of negative capability, the unique human capacity to be in uncertainties, mysteries, doubts, without any irritable reaching after fact and reason. This profound ability to comfortably dwell in ambiguity, to sit with unanswered questions without feeling an insistent compulsion to impose premature closure or fabricated solutions, is a hallmark of true intellectual maturity and a clear pathway to deep, lasting inner peace. When we calmly accept that some ultimate questions about the universe, about consciousness, or about the nature of an infinitely vast cosmic mind may simply be beyond the current or even future limits of human comprehension, we free ourselves from a relentless, often frustrating, and ultimately unfulfilling pursuit. This humility transforms uncertainty from a source of anxiety into an open, inviting landscape for continuous, gentle contemplation, recognizing that the universe's grandest truths may operate on principles entirely different from our current biological or cosmological frameworks. It is a peaceful surrender to the inherent beautiful mystery of being, allowing our minds to float gently in the boundless sea of the unknown, unburdened by the exhaustive need for definitive answers, fostering a tranquility that transcends understanding. In this state of embracing the unknowable, we can paradoxically find a profound and deeply personal meaning in the very flow of existence. If our reality is continuously being birthed from emptiness, if the quantum vacuum is a ceaseless wellspring of creation, then our own existence, our every experience, and every precious moment of our consciousness becomes an intrinsic, cherished, and irreplaceable part of that grand, ongoing creative act. We are not just isolated ephemeral specks in a cold, indifferent vacuum, but rather active participants, tiny conscious sparks woven intricately into a living, dynamic cosmos. Meaning, in this unique context, is not found in discovering a singular, external, predefined answer to the universe's ultimate purpose. Instead, it is found in the very experience of being, in the profound act of participation in this grand, unfolding cosmic process, the fleeting joy of a new discovery, the comforting warmth of a deep connection, the breathtaking beauty of a starlit night sky, the serene contentment of a peaceful sleep. These subjective experiences become integral, vital facets of the cosmic creation, unique contributions to the universal consciousness. Our purpose shifts from seeking external validation or a fixed, grand goal to simply existing authentically, being fully present in the continuous unfolding of the cosmic narrative. The true beauty lies in the journey itself, in the continuous process of unfolding rather than in reaching a final static destination of absolute knowledge. This perspective can infuse every moment of our lives with a sense of profound significance, transforming the mundane into the miraculous, simply by recognizing our inherent, undeniable connection to the grandest, most beautiful mysteries that exist. This liberating power of surrender is perhaps the most direct and potent pathway to inner peace that contemplating emptiness and nothingness gently illuminate. Surrendering the relentless need for absolute control over cosmic scale or ultimate reality, allowing the mind to rest in the sheer vastness, consciously dissolving personal anxieties and letting go of the illusion of complete individual control over every outcome. This profound act of surrender directly parallels the very essence of sleep itself. Each night, we consciously surrender our control. We release the tight grip of our conscious mind on the day's events, trusting our bodies and the universe to guide us through natural cycles of rest and restoration. We implicitly trust that the sun will dutifully rise again, that our bodies will recover and mend, and that the world will continue its course without our constant, conscious vigilance. This daily involuntary practice of letting go, when consciously applied to our contemplation of the universe, extends that profound sense of trust to the grandest possible scale. It is a powerful form of mindfulness, where the focus on the infinite allows our personal worries and stresses to recede into a gentle, distant hum, providing a deep, almost existential lullaby. This unknowing becomes a sanctuary, a sacred, quiet space where the relentless demands of logic and certainty can be gently set aside, leading to a deeper, more profound form of internal peace that transcends all conventional understanding. It's a comforting acceptance of what is, without the need for absolute definition. Ultimately, the idea that as nothingness alive, can the universe's emptiness birth everything, transforms the concept of the void from a daunting philosophical problem into a source of immense comfort, a true philosophical lullaby. The apparent emptiness of space is not cold or uncaring. It is simply immense, operating on principles that transcend our human scale, yet consistently allowing for the continuous emergence of life and consciousness within its boundless expanse. The profound silence of interstellar space, the slow, majestic dance of galaxies across cosmic eons, the quiet, pervasive hum of existence itself, these can be perceived as the very rhythm of cosmic peace, a gentle, omnipresent force holding everything in its embrace. The idea of being held by the universe like a child cradled in a vast, gentle, and utterly accepting embrace can be profoundly soothing, transforming cosmic scale from a source of anxiety into a wellspring of security, belonging, and serene contentment. This quiet acceptance, this embracing of the unknowable as an intrinsic, beautiful part of the profound mystery of being, allows our minds to rest, to truly rest in the boundless potential of existence. It is a powerful call to breathe deeply, to simply be present in the moment, and to trust in the magnificent, incomprehensible unfolding of everything. This contemplation, far from unsettling, leads to a deep, pervasive calm, gently dissolving the boundaries of individual consciousness into the vast, peaceful sea of universal being, a feeling of deep connection and quiet belonging that resonates with the very core of Sleepster's mission and philosophy. Beyond the philosophical lullaby, having journeyed through the profound depths of the void, witnessed creation from emptiness, and explored the intricate dance between consciousness and what seems to be nothingness, we now arrive at the serene culmination of our cosmic contemplation. It is here, at the very edge of our current understanding, that we find a unique, enduring pathway to profound tranquility, the quiet, powerful act of embracing the ultimate mystery. What if the universe's deepest secret is not a single grand answer waiting to be unearthed, but rather the very existence of questions without end? The boundless potential of the unexplained. This isn't a surrender of curiosity, but rather a profound pathway to a deeper, more mature sense of wonder, fostering a serene humility that nourishes the soul and guides us towards a deep, abiding calm, even as we prepare to drift into the gentle embrace of sleep. In this final contemplation, we recognize that the universe does not owe us easy answers, but endlessly offers moments of awe, the vast tapestry of knowledge we've woven. From the quantum jitter of particles to the grand expanse of cosmic voids reveals an astonishing universe, a place of intricate design, profound physical laws, and ceaseless dynamism. Yet, with every answer revealed, countless new questions emerge, stretching our understanding further into the unknown. The concept of nothingness itself, once a simple absence, has unfolded into a complex realm of quantum fields, hidden potentials, and primordial creative power. This continuous expansion of both knowledge and mystery suggests that the universe is an unfinished symphony, perpetually playing itself out, inviting us to be active listeners in its grand performance. The beauty lies not in reaching a final, ultimate destination of complete understanding, but in the ongoing journey itself, the ceaseless human quest to push the boundaries of knowledge, to refine our understanding, and to seek the ultimate coherence of existence. This enduring pursuit, even in the face of profound difficulty, is a testament to the insatiable curiosity of the human mind, its boundless capacity for abstract thought, and its inherent yearning for universal truth. The beauty lies in the ongoing search, the continuous pushing of boundaries, and the humility of recognizing that the universe's deepest secrets are meticulously guarded, forever inviting us to look deeper. The very act of asking questions, particularly those that push the limits of our current understanding, becomes a profound act of connection to the cosmos. Questions like, "Is nothingness alive?" are not merely intellectual exercises. They are portals to wonder, invitations to contemplate possibilities that transcend our everyday experience. They awaken within us a sense of curiosity that is a fundamental human drive, propelling us to explore, to discover, and to challenge assumptions. The universe, in its boundless mystery, ceaselessly invites us to inquire, making our minds active participants in its ongoing revelation. Our capacity for awe, our ability to feel wonder in the face of the inexplicable, connects us directly to the grand scale of existence. We are tiny, conscious sparks within a vast, mysterious cosmos. Yet it is through our unique capacity for contemplation and inquiry that the universe, perhaps, gains a unique perspective on itself. This makes our very existence a precious, fleeting, yet profoundly vital part of the universe's self-discovery, its ongoing thought process. The paradox is profound. We are simultaneously insignificant in scale, yet profoundly vital as observers and experiencers, contributing our unique conscious flicker to the cosmic tapestry. The comfort in this vastness and the quiet grandeur of the unknown is a profound, almost spiritual experience. It allows us to step back from the anxieties of daily life, to release the relentless grip of control, and to find peace in the acceptance that the universe operates on principles and scales far beyond our immediate comprehension. Embracing mystery reduces anxiety about the future or what lies beyond, because it acknowledges that the unknown is not necessarily threatening. It is simply unrevealed. The universe's immense scale can be perceived as a comforting, containing force, holding everything gently within its embrace. There is a deep, soothing sense of calm in knowing that we are cradled by the great unknown, part of something so vast it defies description, yet so intricately connected that our very thoughts contribute to its ongoing story. This gentle surrender to the vast, benevolent, or simply existent cosmic mind allows us to rest in the understanding that existence is a profound, continuous mystery, and we are privileged to be a conscious part of it. This profound embrace of the ultimate mystery leads us directly to the core of Sleepster's mission, particularly as we drift into the realm of sleep and dreams. Sleep is itself a daily, profound act of embracing the unknown, a nightly surrender to the vastness of unconsciousness. Each night, we release the certainties of the waking world, trusting our bodies to rest and our minds to wander into realms where logic often dissolves and reality is reshaped. Dreams in this context are our personal mysteries, reflecting the mind's incredible creative power to generate complex realities when freed from the rigid constraints of waking logic. They are a micro-journey into the void, a nightly practice of surrender to the inexplicable. sleeping with cosmic questions, allowing our subconscious to process and integrate these vast unknowns, becomes a profound experience. The act of resting, of letting go, of floating into the unconscious, is a beautiful parallel to embracing the universe's mysteries. Serene acceptance of ambiguity that ultimately leads to deep tranquility and restorative peace. The universe itself, in its ultimate mystery, offers a kind of cosmic lullaby, inviting us to find calm in its boundless, unspoken truths. And so, here at the end of our journey through the ultimate mystery of what reality is truly made of, from the illusion of solidity to the profound depths of the quantum vacuum, from the theories of simulation to the vastness of the multiverse, we return to where we began, to the simple yet profound act of looking inward and then outward with a heart open to wonder. Where are you watching from tonight? And what time is it in your part of the world? Are you under a midnight sky filled with stars, their distant light a reminder of cosmic voids and infinite potentials? Or is it early morning with the soft sound of birds just beginning to stir, their quiet calls echoing the birth of something? From emptiness? Maybe you're winding down from a busy day or lying in bed, letting your thoughts drift upward like a leaf caught in a breeze, contemplating the very fabric of existence. Wherever you are, whatever the hour, thank you for spending this time here with me. If you enjoyed this quiet journey through the deepest secrets of reality, I'd be so grateful if you'd leave a like or even subscribe to Sleepster for more gentle explorations like this one. I always love hearing from you. So, let me know in the comments where you're listening from and what time it is as you begin to close your eyes. And if you're still awake, gently drifting, I hope the wonder of realities, hidden layers, its quantum dance, its cosmic expanses, and the profound mystery of its origins has left a soft imprint on your imagination. Whether you dream of dissolving into the quantum foam, floating through cosmic voids, or simply rest in the comforting knowledge that existence is an endless source of wonder, may your sleep tonight carry you somewhere light and boundless, nestled within the heart of the universe's deepest, most serene mystery. As always, this video is for entertainment and relaxation only and is not intended to provide any medical advice. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep looking up.